Violetta Anna Licari reporting from Cherokee, North Carolina for Under the Big Sky, my TV show. I've been blessed to be here all weekend and spend time with the Cherokee people in the village, especially. Last night was just wonderful, being blessed to watch Onto These Hills. It's a profound performance, and I really recommend that if you're in the area anywhere near you, do stop by and see that. It's heart-touching, and it's profound, and it's truth. With me, I have one of the cast members from Onto These Hills. I'd like him to introduce himself and tell you a little bit about himself and his character in Onto These Hills. And you are?
My name is Felix Ortiz Cruz. This is my second season with the drama, and I play Tecumseh. The first act, he is a Shawnee war chief who is trying to unite all of the tribes to eventually stave off the settlers. He does not succeed to rope in the Cherokee, but in the second act, I do play Uchella, who's unfortunately one of the individuals who has to give up Solly. And by doing so, the Cherokee are allowed to stay here. They're in creating the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indian.
Now, Felix, you just said a whole mouthful. We don't want to give away too much because we want people to come and see for themselves. But what you're hearing is history. And in that history, you're hearing of great sacrifice for a people. I won't tell you more than that because, A, I'll probably start crying, honestly, and no kidding around on that note. And B, I really want to encourage you to take the time and come and see it and learn about our history. As an actor, what is your favorite thing to do?
Oh, besides making great fun choices, I think it's staying true to the story that we're being told. Not only are we telling it, but we're also making sure that it comes alive, and those are two very different things. Because we've all seen shows where stories told, but does it really come to life? Does it make you feel something? Sometimes it's no, but this show, I know myself personally, I do put my soul into this production. You know, everything that I have to experience on stage, I experience it. My characters are experiencing it as well, but I'm also there, you know, going through the motions of everything, such as the Trail of Tears, which is a very, very strenuous and stressful situation to be under, but it gives us the opportunity to, just for a couple of minutes at least, to begin to live the life that many of the Cherokee did live during the removal. And I think as an actor, we're lucky. We get to turn it off at the end of the night. We get to go home. We get to relax and shrug off the weight of this story. But the story, like you're saying, it's never going to die. It'll always be there. And if we are there to make sure it gets told, that it stays alive, we are doing our jobs as actors. And that's my bottom line whenever I'm on stage.
That's honoring a people.
Yeah.
And all the sacrifices that have been made. It's just tremendous, and it really came through when I watched the show last night. You can feel it. I mean, we all did. We were all weepy, and you feel it, and that just doesn't happen. So what that says to me, that you as an actor and your other cast members are feeling, you're living and you're being. You're not just reciting lines and acting, but you're being, and that brought it to life. Now, outside of Onto These Hills, tell me about yourself. What do you do? What do you do in your spare time?
Well, in my spare time, I love just creating things. I sing on my free times, and I'm also doing a lot of acting here or there with some of the other actors on the Hill, who are just kind of working together just to create things. But my road here has been very, very interesting. I worked at an organic market very recently. I have plans to return there, so I work on the kind of shipping and produce end of the supermarket. But
wow.
yeah,
so you have a day job.
I do have a day job,
like most of us actors.
Yeah, exactly. There's no guarantee with this business, so having that. But that's a little part of me that I enjoy. I love eating healthy. I love making sure that everybody is at their best, and you have to start putting your body. Yeah,
that's excellent. Do you have any hobbies?
Oh, I have a lot of hobbies. One of my favorite hobbies right now, I'm a reader. I love sitting down with a good book and just reading.
Favorite author?
Oh, favorite author. Juno Diaz. He's a Dominican writer. I did have the opportunity to see him. He won the Pulitzer Prize in 2008, I believe, for The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde, and that is one of my favorite books. He was able to sign one of my first editions of it. So,
Oh, how exciting is that?
Yeah.
Oh, reading is just a wonderful thing to do. You just learn as you read. You're entertained and you learn.
Exactly. Yeah, and it helps you as an actor, getting to read the stories of, people I'm going to be playing, because playing a historical character, you have to do your homework. If you don't do your homework, why are you on stage?
Let's talk about the homework for a minute. In your homework, when you're researching a character, what all would that involve? For people that may be considering acting as a career, it's not just getting up on stage and knowing your lines, hopefully. That's just the frosting on the cake. All the hard work goes on before that, and not that it's easy to act and be on a stage or in front of a camera. It isn't easy. It is. It takes a whole lot, but there's so much more that goes on before that. So talk about that.
Sure. Well, my background is in Meisner technique. So the Meisner technique, it's pretty much you want to deal with specificity. So you don't want to go in there kind of knowing what your character is. You want to know exactly who's your character, where their parents, where are they from, what do they eat, what did they do on their free time. So for instance, when I researched Tecumseh, a lot of what he did was public speaking. He went everywhere he possibly could to any audience that would listen to him to hopefully get his point across of we need to stop the settlers from moving forward. So in doing that, I have a lot of public speaking experience, so I was able to pull from that and, getting to understand what he would have been through, and that's what he would have had all eyes on him. He would have made sure he had to be his best so people listened to him and they believed him.
You know what? That's excellent. We call that the backstory, and it's real important for an actor to understand their character. So if you're not given in the script a backstory, you have to create a backstory. So that'll explain what your actions and reactions are.
Correct.
So when you're portraying a historical figure, then you do your research and you find out, just as Felix has done, what was that person all about? And you begin to understand why and how you respond to any given situation. Isn't that the truth?
That's totally the truth. That is the bottom line, is you have to know what you're doing on stage. And if sometimes the backstories are going to be given to you in the script, but sometimes, like for me, it really wasn't. So, it takes a little extra work, but I think at the end of the day, it does show on stage who has done their homework, who has that backstory, and who doesn't. So, yeah.
Very, very much so. Is there anything else you'd like our viewing audience to know about you personally? Like, who are you?
Who am I? Yeah, that's a lot of questions. I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm Latino by just being born, and having that experience to help me come to the Cherokee, understanding my background is going to be different from their background, but I think especially as somebody who is being thrown into a cross-cultural exchange, you have to know that your culture and who you are isn't necessarily better than somebody else's. And I think that's a great lesson that I've learned since being here in Cherokee. It's that everybody, where we're from, at the end of the day, we're all humans, but we also do have very, very different, worldviews, and it's being able to understand a different worldview and being able to accept it and integrate that into the way you see the world. I think that's the only way you can go on.
That's beautiful. So we all bring something different to the table.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you for being here with me for this interview today, and
Thank you.
and thank you for being such a big part of Cherokee and onto these hills. It's not something I'll ever forget.
Good.
And I learned a lot that I didn't know and didn't realize, and I'm very appreciative of it.
Sure.
Thank you.
Great.
From Cherokee, North Carolina, at the Village, Violetta Anna Licari reporting for Under the Big Sky. Till I see you again, Violetta Anna Licari reporting from Cherokee, North Carolina. I'm at the Village. I'm with a very special guest today. Now, this young man is a cast member of Big Sky. We're going to get to know him a little bit today as he introduces himself and tells you about his connection to Big Sky. So who am I standing here with?
Oh, Stongo at first. Stongo is us. Hello, how are you doing? My name is Tommy Fixico, as the elders have given me when I was at a very young age. My Christian name is Chris Adams from Atmore, Alabama, and I am a member of the Porch Band of Creek Indians.
Oh, wow, that was a whole lot in the first sentence. Now let me digest a little bit of that. Okay, let me go back to start with your Christian name. Just tell me that again.
Christopher Michael Adams.
Okay, Christopher Michael Adams, but you were given a native name. Now, I'd like, if you don't mind sharing, how that came about.
Well, And with our tribe, our traditions was lost for many, many years until our tribe invited someone to come in and do our traditional dances. At that time, there was a small group of people there in the Atmore area that was members of our tribe that wanted to bring it back. And as they were bringing it back, I had the opportunity to be a part of that group. And I traveled for many years to Oklahoma starting at the age of 13. And with my ceremonial name, you have to go through what they call boskida, which is the green corn ceremony. And normally the procedure is you have to go through at least 4 years. 4 years, and then you're given a ceremonial name, a warrior name. But at my age, the elders gave me my name at my second green corn. They said that they had seen something in me through the years of knowing me, that they wanted to give me this name that I have spoke of today, because it has not been given out since the late 1940s, because they had not seen no one fit enough to carry that name until they seen me. And the whole name is Dummy Fixico, which means flying heartless, and which means I am part of the Wind Clan. Now, if you break flying heartless down in a Christian way or a English way, you would think automatically meaning bad person, just rude and hateful. But in the native way, the Creek way, our meanings of a lot of things are the opposite, which means big-hearted. There's no sides, no bottoms to my heart. Very giving, as the elders told me.
Wow, that's tremendous. That's a wonderful honor.
Yes.
And something to carry through your life and pass down in your heritage to your family. That's wonderful.
As they were still carrying on our traditions through my youngest one, which is 3, which is also a cast member of Big Sky.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yes.
So tell me your connection to Big Sky.
Well, I've actually had the opportunity to meet Miss Cindy Long. And we're talking with her, and then with my son being casted, I got in all my paperwork, and the next thing I know, they said I was casted.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been given the which role I'm going to be playing at this time, but I look forward to hopefully a good role that can bring out the native way of our people, because my understanding of Big Sky, this has been a lot of research done. This is going to be done on actual true events, historical events, instead of something fictional that Hollywood has made up. So with this being said, I am very, very humbled to be a part of Big Sky for that reason, instead of something being fictional out of Hollywood about natives.
You're absolutely right. We're nowhere near Hollywood. We are a TV show, though, and there will be some creative license.
Yes.
However, we have a team of 6 people on our historical council. They are historians, and they all have a different expertise. So woven through the episodes, you'll see factual things and scenery and every other thing. But we are a TV show, so there will be some creative license there, and conflict and resolution and a whole lot of fun. So you're cast, and your son is cast.
Yes.
And Miss Julie will be getting with you at some point, giving you your character.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Frank and Cindy have done a great job in bringing you on board. They saw something in you that they saw was good for Big Sky. And our writers will be doing the dialoguing, and you'll be all set up when the time comes.
In our language, we say "mado," which is thank you, and we really appreciate everything that Big Sky is doing by going and visiting different tribes through the United States. A couple of weeks ago, they were in Oklahoma visiting my ancestors that walked the Trail of Tears. A lot of my friends there in Okmulgee at the Muskogee Creek Nation Festival there. So in the native world, this is a big event for us, because it's what they have lived. It's what they have walked. It's the meaning of their life.
And all of this is really important to us as a team. We want to know all of this. We want to know who's in our cast and their past. Tell me about the bow that you're holding.
This bow here is a 6-foot long traditional bow. This is made out of hickory wood. This bow is one of many that I make. These here would have been used more or less in battle for long distance shooting. A lot of people has a misconception that the longbow was used only for hunting, but actually the pony bow, as we call it, the short bow, is what we use mainly for hunting, because this is very difficult if you're in the woods or something to maneuver through the branches and the bushes. So we had a shorter bow that wasn't but about 42 to 48 inches long.
Okay, that's beautiful. And you make these yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
How long would it take you to make a bow like this?
Well, like this, last year I estimated about 600 a month bows, and just not this size, but anywhere from a 3-foot all the way to a 6-foot. And I could not do this without my employees. I have 4 employees, counting myself, and plus a part-timer. So
Wow.
we stay wrapped up.
Yeah,
Really
600 in a month. That sounds incredible.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Now, may I ask you another question about your regalia?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I want to start with your feathers. Is that significant of something?
Yes, ma'am. I'm wearing a red-tailed hawk that is here in my hair, and this here is a double red-tailed hawk, which is means that we have each other's back. This is a symbol of a warrior, a symbol of strength and courage, and that we stand for what we believe in and we don't back down.
Wow, that's beautiful. And your necklace, what is that?
This here is a gorget. This is something that we would have actually traded the Europeans for, but through the years we started wearing this to protect our chest, to protect
Just turn
our
a little bit
throats.
so we can see. Okay, good. Go ahead.
And this would be a sort of armor that we would have worn to protect us a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And also for meeting different people. This is not a way I would have been dressed every day, as you know. This would have been a way of dressing of like when we had a political meeting of with different tribes, or when the Europeans came over, meeting with them. But this would have been like our, as they say, our Sunday best
Okay.
on a meeting of a tribal council and things.
Wow, very important.
Yes, very,
Very
important,
important.
because what a lot of people don't realize is that the southeastern Indians did not wear war bonnets. This is the way we dressed when we went somewhere. The war bonnets was more or less Western Plain Indians. We didn't wear the bustles as you see today and the powwows.
Mm-hmm.
That was adopted in the Southeast through the Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, is
Oh,
where
look
it
at
came
that.
about. And the reason it was is because the traditions in the Southeast was lost for so long that they didn't know anything. So when they saw this show, the Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, and he had the natives in there dressed with the beadwork and the bustles and the headdress, and because they were natives, the natives in the Southeast thought, well, that's the way we should be. And so they started doing powwows, and they'd done powwows for many years. Now, even though that was not it's not our traditions, we still respected their
Yeah.
ways, because the Western Indians, that is the religious ways for them to dance.
Wow.
And we still respected it
Wow.
for the reason is I wouldn't be where I'm at today with my traditions and with my culture and my way of life if it wasn't from powwows. I started out powwow dancing, and with starting in powwow dancing, it led me into my traditional ways, my stomp dance ways, the old ways.
Very nice.
So we still respect it.
That's awesome.
Because it's carried us a long ways.
I want to say thank you for being here with me today.
Thank
I've
you.
learned a whole lot from you, and I look forward to seeing you on the set.
Yes,
and your son
I
as
do.
well.
Yes, ma'am.
He's a
Yeah,
cast member too.
He's a character at
He's a
times.
character.
Yes,
It's going to be great. Well, thank you. It's Violetta Anna Licari reporting from Cherokee, North Carolina at the Village. Till I see you again, God bless.
ma'am.